What is sexual performance anxiety? We often jump to the conclusion of what's wrong with me? I must have something wrong with my body, and that is often not the case in most circumstances. So in this video, I'm going to be uncovering exactly what is sexual performance anxiety and how do we overcome it. If you find this video useful today, in the bottom right hand corner you will see a button that says subscribe. Click on that button so that you can get the latest brand new videos and brand new tools as I share them right here. So for us to understand what sexual performance anxiety is, let's look at the pattern that actually develops with it. So we start off with some kind of bad experience. Let's talk about in the bedroom. Okay, so things don't go to plan. Perhaps we are not able to get hard, or we lose the erection during sex. We then, the first time it happens, we then have this feeling of awkwardness, this feeling of uncomfortability, of shame, of embarrassment, and we think, oh my God, I don't know what happened there. Please do not let that happen again. That can't happen again. So it's an intense moment. It sticks with us. And if we think about it, it can feel like it was just yesterday that it happened. That's how intense it can still feel in our body. So then we go into the next time that we have sex with that thought. What if this happens again? This happened before, it can't happen again. I've got to stop thinking about it. And we feel like we're in a battle with our mind. And then let's say it happens again. So now you can see if that happens the second time, we're going to seriously think, what's wrong with me? I've got a problem with my body. I'm not normal. And the loop starts, right? This consistent loop then, and it looks very similar every single time that we have the what if thoughts. We carry that into the experience. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We lose our erection or we can't get hard. Then we feel embarrassed and ashamed and guilty. And then there's some days in between, or months in between, maybe even years in between. And then it comes back to the moment of intimacy again, and we carry those feelings, that stress, that pressure in, what if, and the cycle continues. If you can relate to what I'm going through so far, it's very interesting that this is similar to other areas of our life too. I'd like you to think about the types of loops that we can go through when it comes to exams, when it comes to sports, or when it comes to when we were younger, what our parents expected of us. Very similar thought patterns of what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if it happens again? They're just three examples, but what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if it happens again? Do you see how extremely similar that is to what we just went through specific to the bedroom? Okay, so I'm going to put that there for now. That is something to think about. If this is relatable so far, the first step to actually getting performance anxiety sorted is to get to the bottom of what's going on. Why is this showing up for us personally? To be able to do that, I have developed a performance anxiety quiz. This is a free, very simple quiz. It's 10 yes or no questions that you ask yourself. The link to this quiz is in the comments below. If you want to get to the bottom of what is going on for you personally, then head into the comments after this video, click on the link, it will take you straight to the page where you can access the quiz, and you will then see your score. So when we feel this intensity, or these what if thoughts come back up, why does this happen? Well, it's very normal because it's based on an actual experience. It's based on a real experience of times when things didn't go to plan, whether that's in the bedroom, or whether it's that we didn't get the grade in the exam that we were told we should have got, or whether it's we froze when we went out onto the court. An actual experience has happened. There's been some kind of reaction within ourselves and sometimes from others as well. And what does that mean for what sexual performance anxiety actually is? It means that sexual performance anxiety is a thought. It's a thought. That's where it starts, right? It then turns into something, but it starts as a thought. So I'd like you to imagine there's the thought, and thoughts become things. You may have heard that saying, but basically this thought here of performance anxiety, or the what if questions, is about to trigger a sequence of events. So we have the thought, and then we have the pressure, and then we have the stress that stacks and stacks and stacks, the what if questions, and then there's some kind of response that happens. As I just gave the examples, we either lose the erection during sex, or we freeze when we go onto the court, or we have a complete mental block when it comes to the exam. There's three different examples. And there's also very common reactions in our body across all three of those things. For example, we can feel our heart rate beating faster. We can feel nervous or like we have a sinking feeling in our stomach. We can sometimes even feel ourselves sweating. This can happen across all of those scenarios. As you can see here, it starts as a thought. Pressure is added, stress is added, and then that thought turns into a thing. There's some kind of reaction, there's some kind of response. So I want to summarize what this means. It means that sexual performance anxiety is a thought, and it's a thought that then becomes a thing. There's a sequence of events that happens because of this thought, and really what is going on is that we're pushing our body into a stress state. When we're in a stress state, our chemical composition in our body changes. We go into a fight or flight state, and so we're not able to get hard. This is biology. This is what happens in our body. This is extremely normal. When we jump to the conclusion of thinking, what's wrong with me? There must be something wrong with my body. I invite you to actually just take a step back and to realize that there is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with your body. Your body is responding in the way it should be responding to these types of thoughts. And when we add and stack the pressure on top of those thoughts, there's going to be a reaction because we're tipping our body into a stress state, and then we will lose the erection, or then we get the block, or then we freeze on the court. So the obvious question now is, what do we do about that? It's one thing knowing it and understanding it. Yes, that's the first step, but then what do we do about it? How do we overcome this and get it fixed? As I mentioned, below in the comments, the very first step is getting to the bottom of what's going on for you personally. Not for all other guys on the internet, but for you personally. The best way to do that is taking this quiz and understanding your score and what is showing up for you. Head below into the comments, click on that link. I will see you at the performance anxiety quiz.